Aren't we all shocked with what happened at WWDC 2019? Hi guys, Dian from Tech Lifestyle, and this is our take on WWDC 2019 without ranting or anything, just giving you all the highlights. So they kicked off with Apple tvOS, well, tvOS actually, that's what it's called, I think. And then they moved their way through to watchOS, then iOS, which was separated into two slots, and then they swiftly moved on to the new Mac Pro, which will, full disclaimer, not be discussed in this video at all. We will leave it for a later video. And then swiftly on to macOS. So first of all, tvOS will also not be discussed. It's not really a major update, so subtle changes here and there. First of all, watchOS. And I believe we got 5 or 6 new watch faces. 2 for those of you who have older models of Apple Watch. Really disturbing anyway. Also just a quick mention, don't update your Apple Watch to the new watchOS 6 developer beta, not yet, wait for the public release. Please guys, I'm warning you, I did it, I got trouble. I updated this before updating my iPhone. I had trouble updating my iPhone, so my watch didn't work for the entire day. I was really frustrated with it. Yeah, it was not good. I ended up trying everything. I didn't want to pay and set it up as a new Apple Watch. I had to update my iPhone, which by the way, that's also really difficult. And when I updated my iPhone, I just had to restore my Apple Watch with a backup. But anyway, new watch faces, as we said. Siri is enhanced now, but we'll get into that in the iOS discussion. Also, they included an app store on the Apple Watch, so I don't know if this is new. Sorry for laughing, but as I recall, there was an app store on your iPhone for the Apple Watch. What was that then? But now apps live on your Apple Watch, as they said, so they actually admit that it was from your iPhone ported to your watch or whatever. So apps will launch faster now. Anyway, I don't know. I really don't know. They included audiobooks, a calculator with a tip calculator, a voice memos, I think that's what they call it, voice memos, yeah, voice memos, and reminders application, but we'll get into the full discussion of that reminders app later. And new characters, memoji characters, and also activity trends, which can be located on your health application on your iPhone or your activity application. I don't know which one yet. It's just my health application is not working at the moment, and I don't know about my activity application. So whatever, it keeps up with the trends. A new cycle tracking for the ladies out there. Drop a comment down below if you are interested in using it, if it's not too private to ask. And then also hearing health, which monitors the surrounding noise levels around you and warns you if it gets too high, and yeah, I think that's actually really cool. And then more personal whatever. watchOS compatibility is also only exclusive to Apple Watch series models. That will be 1, 2, 3 and 4, not for first gen Apple Watch. Moving swiftly onto iOS, which as I said will be broken into 2 sections or 2 slots, starting with iOS 13. Now this is the first thing that they announced. It really shook the grounds on which the conference room was built, and the stage lit up, well, not literally lit up, but yes it did, with clapping and yelling and whistling. And
we are bringing dark mode to iOS. I'd love to show it to you live now. All right.
Also, photos and camera application got a revamp. Photos, you get portrait lighting control and high key mono. Photos tab is a new thing, apparently. Redesign editing, photo editing within the Photos app, and powerful video editing for pro people, whatever. And haven't we all seen some of these? Well, Apple says no more. They say sign with Apple is the new way to do, and you have more control over whatever you share with whomever you sign in with, and they'll also create you a fake email so that all the spam mail goes there. Also, new secure video for your HomeKit enabled devices. It'll no longer be stored into sneaky cloud storages, apparently analyzed by your iPad hub or HomePod at home, and then sent to your client, and you will be warned. Total revamp of the Maps application. The maps are more detailed now.
Here's our old map, and here is the new map.
They also introduced something they call look around, which is a street view like thing.
You'll notice in the upper right hand corner there is a new binoculars button. When I tap that, I get a brand new look around window.
That Google had, but it's more immersive and more responsive than Google's take on it. Favorite and collections on maps. Now, as I said before, Siri is now not beta, she sounds better. So it's something they call neural text to speech, which makes her sound more like a human, but she's still pretty dumb as a robot. Anyway, not very interesting. Siri shortcuts, more powerful something. I don't use it either way. Personalization on the HomePod, tongue twister. And so it recognizes members of the family speaking to the HomePod, and it'll preference music or whatever to your taste. Announce messages on AirPod. What is wrong with my tongue today? And also you can now pair 2 sets of AirPods with one iPhone or one iDevice. I'm not sure which one it is yet, but one iPhone states here. And I personally think it's quite cool because I don't like sharing my AirPods with anyone. So this is a useful feature which we can all use. Now, Memoji, new Memoji customization on all iDevices, and that's mind-blowing. Anyway, Memoji stickers also now lives in your keyboard, in your emojis section, or whatever, and you can paste it into messages, mail, and any third-party app you'd like. I think it's really quite cool. We've been waiting for that for a long time. You can also now put your own photo, and you can put your name on messages or WhatsApp-like feature, and choose with whomever you want to share it, and something they call quick path typing.
When you type, you can swipe.
That's so 2011, but whatever. Reminders application has all been revamped. It has new menus and features. Not gonna get into that now. CarPlay also revamped with new features and whatever. Now performance, it says Face ID is up to 30% faster now, and apps will launch up to 2 times faster than iOS 12, which was already really fast. Now compatibility will be iPod Touch 7th generation and iPhone SE, 6S, 6S Plus, 7, 7 Plus, 8, 8 Plus, 10, 10R, 10S and 10S Max. That's all, no more 6. Moving swiftly on to section 2, which will be called iPadOS from now on. So they say you can use multiple apps in slide over.
But what if I want to get back to that last app? Could we make that super easy? The answer is yes. I can just drag from the bottom and they fan out just like that.
You can also use apps in multiple spaces, and app expose, which they call, I don't know what that is actually, didn't listen. You can now also pin your widgets to your home screen, which is actually really cool. The Apple Pencil gets a new tool palette, full page markup and sidecar and macOS, which we'll get into later. Text editing, you get new editing gestures for copy, paste, undo and cut, I believe. Cursor navigation, which is nothing new. We could use the cursor to navigate the cursor before. Don't see how that's new. Floating keyboard, you can now undock your virtual keyboard and use it as a one finger typing thing. Swipe to type nonsense. And keyboard shortcuts for your physical keyboards. New fonts. Files application is also redesigned. You get more control. You can also connect to more file. You can connect to file servers actually, and you can connect to external drives, which is really useful. I've been holding out for iPad Pro just because of that feature. I needed to connect something, to have something to connect to my external. And Safari is also a bit revamped, desktop class browsing as they say, and you get a download manager now, and of course dark mode, privacy, and all the other features in iOS. Now, as far as compatibility goes, it's iPad Air 2, iPad Air 3rd Gen, iPad Mini 4, iPad Mini 5, iPad 5th Gen, iPad 6th Gen, a 9.7-inch iPad Pro, 10.5-inch iPad Pro, 11-inch iPad Pro, and 12.9-inch iPad Pro. And moving swiftly onto macOS Catalina.
So for our next major release of macOS, we're moving out of the desert into the beautiful waters off the California coast, a place for sailing, diving, and so much more. It's macOS Catalina.
And it's really much better. So they completely deleted iTunes and replaced it with something that splits into 3 sections, which will be called Music, which will be 3 separate apps: music, TV, and podcasts. I don't know why they didn't do that. Anyway, music will then be Apple Music, and you can no longer sync your iPhone with iTunes. You have to use the Finder app instead. Whatever. You can also now use most mobile applications on your Mac, which is really useful because there's some apps out there that you really want on your Mac, but because the Pro apps, they're expensive, like LumaFusion. It's cheap, and you can now use it on your Mac with the new architecture that they built. Photos application, reminders application, Safari. You can now extend your desktop with your iPad, which is really useful, and you don't need to buy a secondary display. You already have an iPad, you can extend your display with the iPad, and I find it really useful because now you don't have to download and pay for an application to do that. Now onto Sidecar, which I mentioned earlier. You can now use your iPad to draw on your Mac. What they say is, bring the ease or precision of Apple Pencil to your favorite creative Mac apps with Sidecar. So it actually works alongside your Mac, and you can draw on your Mac with your iPad and Apple Pencil, which is really great, but I don't seem to find it useful. I don't have a Mac anytime or now. I saw the word time. Screen time is also now on the Mac with communication limits for your children, so you can now set with whomever they communicate, whichever time of the day, combine limits, and 1 more minute feature, whatever. I didn't use it anyway. Increased security and greater privacy. And then something I left out in iOS, which I wanted to discuss now. It's something called Find My. So we already heard about this coming to the new software releases. It's Find My iPhone and Find My Friends combined, and also with your iDevices now. A device does not have to be connected to the internet in any way. It can be offline, even in sleep mode, like a Mac, or sleep mode not Wi-Fi enabled or connected to any of your devices. You can now find it because it sends out packages of data to other iDevices around it, and you can locate your Mac or whatever iDevice like that. It is like the tile service, actually, if we can call it that. And yeah, you can also now approve with your Apple Watch on your Mac, so no more pesky passwords. And then a voice control for all iDevices or all Apple devices, whatever you want to call it. and I'll leave it to the following video to discuss that.
Wake up. Voice control is a breakthrough feature that gives you full control of your devices, with just your voice, period. It's a whole new way to do everything you love, period. Like this. Correct love. 16. Open photos. Scroll up. Show numbers. 13. Click share. 3. Tim. Next field. Let's try this one today. Thumbs up emoji. Click send. Open maps. Show grid. Long press at 20. Open app switcher. 4. Tap share. Tap Tim. Tap send. Hey, good to see you. Open music. Turn up the volume. All right.
Really, it was so difficult to get iOS 13 because this time around there is no more configuration profiles to download and install and do an OTA update or over-the-air update in layman's terms. So you had to go roots and roots. You had to go into someone's Google Drive and copy the file to your drive and make another copy and then download the file and then get another thing for people on Windows, or you can't even install it just with iTunes anymore. You have to have Xcode, and oh, it was a mess, a real mess. So I really want to help you guys do it, but it's so riddled with bugs. I don't want you to damage your iDevices. I already damaged mine because I can't use my health application anymore. I don't know if it's funny or sad, but anyway. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Looking forward to making the Mac Pro and Pro Display XDR, which I'm really disappointed. $6,000 for an 8-core base model, and $5,000, yes, the price of an iMac Pro, for a display without a stand or a VESA mount. You have to pay $1,000 for a bloody stand and $199 for a VESA mount, which in my mind you should actually include, but once again, it's Apple. We all know they love money. Anyway, I'm not gonna faff about that now. We'll get into that in the following video. So we're still working on the Apple Watch Series 2 review. Stay tuned, subscribe to go check out the video when it drops, and then still working on the AirPods review, just comparing it to Friends' AirPods 2, seeing what's the difference and whatever. And then also subscribe and stay tuned to see the iPad Mini 4 review, which will drop later in the month. So guys, next month we will probably have a few more videos, as Apple will drop the public beta for iOS and WatchOS and iPadOS and macOS. But anyway, yeah, so stay tuned for that. Like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to come back. Just kidding, you don't have to, but I really like it if you do. I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys.